Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Laajune here. Now we back in with some more Suicide Squad. Now today we'll be talking about, is Suicide Squad dead? Now I have a lot to talk about this whole situation because it's a lot of weird activity going on right now. And I'm at the point where I don't really care because people gonna say I'm defending the game regardless. I really at this point, like, there's nothing I can do. I'm gonna get called a shield, copium. I'm just defending the game, whatever they go say. Like, I'm over it. Like, I really don't care. But I can spot out the obvious bias and bullshit when I see it. It's so obvious, y'all. Like, it really is. And it's just me not even like coming from a fanboy standpoint, anything like that. This is just looking from the outside. You can see what's going on when it comes to Suicide Squad. It's so obvious. Now, as you see right here, this is a tweet that has been going viral that's stating that this has to be one of the fastest deaths of a AAA live service game that has suffered. I think Redfall and Avengers fared better. The cap on this app, dog. I like it. It's just so cap. I've never seen people just talk out of their ass so much when it comes to talking about Suicide Squad. Like, it's insane to say that this has Avengers farewell when it comes to Suicide Squad. Oh, people have not played. It's just so obvious. People just talking out their ass. All right, so the big thing behind this is the whole article that released stating that Suicide Squad has under 1,000 players on Steam, which was on one day. And all of a sudden, it just spawned so many articles, so many people talking about it. And it's insane. Like, it really is insane. Now, if we go look at Steam charts right now, we are at, it is 1:23 a.m. in the morning, and it is a Sunday. Right now, there's 1,413 people playing right now. Now, this is not good. Like, there's no without a doubt saying this is not good when it comes to having a player base on PC. But when it comes to Suicide Squad, this game is available on 2 different platforms that we don't have access to numbers to. And this is the thing that I really don't like when it comes to the Steam chart numbers debate. For some odd reason, it has become a thing where people just stalk Steam chart numbers for a game that's successful or is failing or just a flop in general. People love stalking the Steam chart numbers for some odd reason and just all of a sudden debates that if it's a good game or bad game. Now, there's many of examples of games that have come out that have low Steam chart numbers. They didn't even peak over 40,000 or 30,000 whenever, and they are still going till this day. And it's super weird that people are going with this narrative when it comes to Suicide Squad. For examples, we have DC Universe Online, y'all. This only peaked at 3,000. This game released when I was in fucking middle school. This game is still going on till this day. Still till this day, y'all. That is a huge achievement to have. The fact this game has this low of numbers and it's still going on still to this day. And you know why? Because they have a dedicated fan base that are actually benefiting the game, putting money into the game, and having to keep going so they can actually get profit and keep making content. So the whole thing with this game, with Suicide Squad, is weird because we know majority of the players, if you guys are familiar with DC Universe Online, the majority of players are on PlayStation, and that is it. Like, that, the main people that are playing it is on PlayStation, because when it released on PlayStation, and a lot of people was playing. I know, I was there. It was a lot of people playing. And the fact is this low now, and it's still going on, is insane, and it's a huge achievement. Same thing for Avengers. Even though Avengers is dead, it is dead, and we really don't have to worry about these numbers right here because the game is dead. But the game peaked at 28,000, and I've played Avengers since the beginning. The game struggled. I'm surprised that even lasted 3 years, y'all. I'm super surprised. And when it comes to Avengers, we all know Avengers was a quote unquote flop, and it still went on for 3 years when it eventually got shut down. So when it comes to Division 2, Division 2 has been out since 2019, if I remember correctly. Now, do have to say that it did not release on Steam immediately. I think, if I remember correctly, it released on Steam like 3 years ago. I mean, not 3 years, no, 3 years after release, and it only peaked at 14K. So the player base is really on the Ubisoft little app they have where you can actually play the game, and it's on PlayStation and Xbox. That's what majority of their player base is. And the game is still going on still to this day in 2024, and they're even releasing a Division 3, y'all. So, as I've stated, when it comes to people going the hardest, when it comes to Suicide Squad, you could spot the bullshit. You could dislike the story all you want, all power to you, but you cannot sit here and tell me you cannot spot the obvious bias that the internet has over this game. And I'm not even trying to sound like a shill or a defender, y'all. I'm just being real. It is super, super obvious. Now, the game itself has problems. I've talked about it many a times on my stream. The server lag is bad. The multiplayer is bad when trying to play with people because you get kicked out. They got people still can't log in for 2 weeks, even people that play early access. It is so much bugs that is in the game itself, but for the overall core game itself as a looter shooter, it is fun. If you ask the people that are actually into looter shooters, you can ask them. They enjoyed the game. Solid FPS. I think it was I forgot the other guy's name. I forgot his name, but the people that are into the looter shooter genre, they actually enjoyed Suicide Squad. So it's weird how this whole thing is going, because I can see from the perspective, because 9 times out of 10, the people that are really hard on Suicide Squad, 9 times out of 10 wanted another Batman game, or 2, they wanted a Superman game that never existed. It got to the point where people made up rumors that Rocksteady was making a Superman game this whole time, and they got canceled because Suicide Squad was in the making and they want to do that. It's just insane to me, y'all, how this whole thing is going. And then they're doing with the whole Sweet Baby thing. I'm gonna be real with y'all, bruh. I'm 24 years old. I don't give a fuck about no fucking Sweet Baby. Who cares? Who cares? Like, let's be honest, y'all. When you get off the game, that shit is not on my mind about some fucking Sweet Baby. Like, dog, it is insane, dog. Like, if people just think I'm just such a shill, or it's like, dog, who fucking cares about a fucking Sweet Baby? Like, let's be honest. And it's so crazy they come up with these whole narratives that Sweet Baby came in and messed up the story, when it has been disproven that they did it. The story was already done before Sweet Baby even came into the conclusion. And it came from a person that worked at Rocksteady. He was literally in the game, in the studio himself when it happened. The Sweet Baby was not even there when the story was done. So all of these just theories and just grifties or grifters, whatever they call them, I don't fucking know. And just people coming up with scenarios that are not true and getting rage clicks and all that. They are spreading lies. Like, it is insane. Like, Suicide Squad, I've never ever, I'm just being honest, I've never seen a game with so much odds against it, so much lies spread against it, just because it's not a game you wanted. It is insane. And I could understand. I would have preferred a Justice League game if they did that over Suicide Squad. I think everybody and their mom would. But if you don't look at this game for what it is, and you're looking at a lens of, oh, I just wanted a Justice League game, I wanted a Batman game, of course you're going to hate this game. Especially when it comes from Rocksteady, they made single player games and all that, and they went swapped to a looter shooter. you're going to look confused. Like, I'm so glad I'm into looter shooters and don't mind playing them, because if I wasn't, I don't know, I probably still would end up playing this game because I don't listen to reviewers. And that's another thing we got to get into. All right, so when it comes to the reviews for Suicide Squad, now, if you check on Steam, majority of them are very positive. As you see from all the reviews, it says 81% out of the 4,000 users that left a review found it positive. Now, if we check it ourselves, majority of it is basically mixed of people that actually like the game and like the story and the gameplay, and some is in the middle where they actually like the gameplay but don't like the story aspects of Suicide Squad, which is totally understandable when it comes down to the game itself. I don't mind that people dislike the story, but when it comes down to this, where basically people put 7 hours into the game and saying they'll recommend it, are you really going to take their word for granted? Like, really? Like, come on now. Now, this person right here, he put 32 hours into the game. I would actually take this review with a little bit of courtesy. But at the end of the day, for me personally, I don't really listen to reviewers. I just, if I like the game and I find it interesting, then I'm going to end up buying it, or possibly just be on the lookout or catch for a sale or something like that. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to, we really don't know what is going on with Suicide Squad. Now, the whole narrative that Rocksteady is going to go in debt or something like that with WB when it comes to Suicide Squad, I don't see that happening. Now, for example, for Marvel's Avengers. Now, Marvel's Avengers is a Marvel IP game that Crystal Dynamics had to buy from Marvel Games. They had to make a deal to actually do that. And you got to pay a fee, an annual fee, to actually keep the game running. And for that, it's very expensive. For WB, since Rocksteady is under WB, they don't have to do that at all. So let's say, for instance, if Suicide Squad, since we do know that it was #1 when it comes to the pre-order deluxe edition, which was $100 edition for US in my area, it was #1. And if I remember, I know the regular edition was on top 10. Now for Xbox, I know it's in the top 20s. I'm not sure for Steam. I really didn't pay attention to it at all. But let's say, for instance, since we know that it was #1 for the deluxe edition, that's $100 USD, and the standard edition was on the top 10, and for Xbox, it is in the top 20s. If we go from that alone, I can state that possibly the game probably sold between 3.5 million, 4 million, or 4.5 million, in my opinion. That's what I think it possibly has sold from all three platforms: Xbox, Steam, and PlayStation. Now, that is not bad if we're looking from perspective, because let's say, for instance, it's probably going to end up being like 7 million to make the game profitable. If the game, for instance, made 4 million and they have a whole year that they're going to be releasing content that's going to be free, and we're going to have the battle pass that you can pay for, the cosmetics and the microtransactions that they have in the game itself, if they go hard on it, they can actually make that money back and actually be profitable and keep going with content for the game itself, if WB says the same and if Rocksteady wants to continue on making the game itself. So honestly, we really don't know if this game was a quote unquote flop or not. The people are just basically stating that it's a flop because of Steam chart numbers. That's the only reason why people are even bringing this up and how this even started in the first place, because of Steam numbers, which I really find very funny to me, in my opinion. Not even like as a, oh, they just talking about it. It's just like, it's funny to judge a game off of Steam numbers to state if it's a flop or not, or if it's a bad game or whatever, when I've shown many examples of games that have not even come close to Suicide Squad peak numbers, and they are still going on strong to this day, years or decades later. So I don't know. It's very interesting. But I just really want to make this video just to, just get my opinion about everything that's going on with the bias on the internet when it comes to Suicide Squad, when it comes to the whole game itself, and just be honest and just sit and just have a talk with y'all, just really just chill and relax. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about Suicide Squad, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys later, and I'm gone. Peace.